What's up guys, it's Clownfire here. Guys, today we're just going to be looking at the top 5 reasons why Daniel Dubois will beat Anthony Joshua. I'm going to look at the top 5 reasons, guys, why Daniel Dubois will beat Anthony Joshua. And I will be doing one on the top 5 reasons why Joshua will beat Dubois, so don't worry guys. But first guys, let me just get straight into it. So number 1 guys, youth and you could say physical prime. Now Daniel Dubois, guys, he's only 26 years old. That is actually quite young for a heavyweight. But at the same time, if you look at heavyweights in the past, if you look at Mike Tyson, he was a very young heavyweight, guys. He was one of the youngest. I think he started when he was like 18. Very young, guys, and he became one of the, I think he became champion at the youngest age. I know there is a upcoming fighter called Moses Atama who's trying to do the same. But in terms of youth, Daniel Dubois definitely has that advantage. Now, Joshua is 34 years old. Usually, the heavyweights usually taper off in the late 30s. Most heavyweights. There are a few heavyweights that can go into their 40s, such as Zhang or other fighters, but I don't see Anthony Joshua being that type of fighter. Anthony Joshua has stated multiple times he'll probably retire by the time he's 37. So he's probably got 3 years more in the game before he retires. So that youth, guys, what it brings, guys, it brings a lot of advantages: stamina, speed, recovery, and it also allows you to eat more shots, believe it or not. It just depends on your chin. From what I've seen, Daniel Dubois' chin is very good. Yes, he's shown susceptibility to being stopped, but his chin has never really been knocked out as well. He took right hand after right hand off Hrgovic. I'm not saying Hrgovic is the same as AJ, but that age advantage, guys, this is a young man's game, guys. Let's be honest. When AJ fought Vladimir Klitschko was like 10, 12, 13 years older than him. AJ was young at that time. And it's the same thing now. You've got Dubois, who's like 8 years younger than AJ. And I'm not saying AJ is old, and he keeps himself in good shape, AJ. So that probably helps him a lot. But when you got a young guy, guys, it does favor the advantage to Daniel Dubois. So that's one of the reasons, guys. Youth and physical prime. Number 2, guys, power and knockout ability. Now, again, a lot of people say AJ's the only one with the knockout power here. No, not at all, guys. There's a lot of fighters, guys, a lot of interviews. If you go watch them, people actually say Dubois actually got more power than AJ. Maybe not. It's hard to say more power. People say Dubois hits harder. There's been interviews I've watched of people who've sparred AJ and people who fought Dubois. People say when Dubois hits you, it's next level. But again, not saying that you also need technique. Hitting someone as hard as you can doesn't mean anything, because Alexander Usyk said Derek Chisora was the hardest hitter he ever faced. So hitting someone hard doesn't always mean anything. But Dubois got a good record as well, guys. 19 wins and 20 coming off knockout. So again, if he hits AJ on the chin, guys, don't forget AJ's chin is not the most best chin in the game. Let's be honest, he's been knocked out, TKO'd or whatever from Andy Ruiz. When he does get hit, guys, he doesn't like it. There's been glimpses of it in his career. He doesn't like getting hit a lot. He doesn't get hit too often, but there's been times that he gets hit. Not a lot, but when he gets hit, can he take that power of Dubois? Dubois hits as hard, if not harder, than AJ, in my opinion. So, guys, that's a very big advantage for Dubois, power and knockout ability. So again, okay, that's number 2. Number 3, guys, the recent momentum and the quality of opponents that they've both faced in recent days, guys. So I'm talking about the last 3 opponents. So Dubois obviously been tested, guys, with his recent fights, guys. So that's obviously been, I'm talking about his last 3 fights. He fought Usyk, which he lost to. But again, people say that performance might have been better than AJ's. It can be argued. Yes, Usyk was stopped. Usyk landed this body shot that I'd call, people say it's a low blow. Whatever for that, it's controversial, but in my opinion, he did try to put it on Usyk, and obviously whatever happened there happened. They both lost the fight. AJ lost 24 rounds. Dubois tried to go for it and got stopped, and so the recent opponents of Dubois, in particular, I'm talking about the last 2 opponents. He's faced Gerald Miller and Filip Hrgović. Now, I'm not saying Gerald Miller is very, very high quality, but he was undefeated before he fought Daniel Dubois. But people are gonna make the argument that he was he's never really fought anyone before. Anyway, that's fair, but he was a tough opposition. AJ was scheduled to fight him a long time ago. He got in trouble from drugs or whatever, but Daniel Dubois was the first guy to stop Gerald Miller as well. And then on top of that, Daniel Dubois just faced Filip Hrgović, which a lot of people were avoiding in the heavyweight division for a long time. And Daniel Dubois took a lot of right hands in that fight, but he came through it and he stopped Filip Hrgović, guys. You remember this, Daniel Dubois is not winning these fights by decision. He's actually going and giving it to them. He's a tough fighter, guys, and he can dish it out. Just look at the faces of both these guys after their fights. They actually got hurt, guys. Filip Hrgović, both his eyes were shot, and he had to eat his own words. Now, AJ's opponents, guys, as I said, I'm not going to say they're the best opponents, guys. He's fought Francis Ngannou, who's an MMA fighter, guys. He's got no experience in boxing. He's only fought Fury, which a lot of people say was a fluky fight because Fury didn't turn up, or Fury's either that shit. I'm in the category that Fury's that shit, but forget that. Leave that on the side. But anyways, yeah, and then AJ's fought Otto Wallin. Now, I'm not saying Otto Wallin's not good at position, but Otto Wallin also gave Tyson Fury one of his hardest fights, where Tyson Fury was bleeding. Now, is this a case of Tyson Fury is just shit? He just gets lucky, because both these opponents, Otto Wallin and Francis Ngannou, both almost beat Tyson Fury, you could say. I would say Francis Ngannou beat Tyson Fury, but I'm not going to get into that. On the paper, Tyson Fury won. But AJ is just beating these two fighters easily. But can you rate these two fighters? Because they've only fought someone like Fury, who Fury, a lot of people say, is a fraud anyway. So it's very difficult to judge this caliber of opponents that AJ's had, because the only people those two people have really troubled is Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury just lost to Alexander Usyk as well. So again, in my opinion, the quality has been better for Dubois. He's been tested more. AJ did not get tested with Francis Ngannou. AJ did not get tested with Otto Wallin. Now, people might say that's because AJ is that good. Fair opinion, but I will tell you now, Daniel Dubois will be looking to test AJ. So that's my third reason. So number 4, guys, mental resilience and hunger. So in my opinion, Daniel Dubois is a young 26-year-old. He's eager to prove himself. He's never defended his world champion belt. He's just become a world champion. I know they gave him the interim belt, but because Usyk dropped the belt, they will be fighting for the proper belt now. So Daniel Dubois, at that age, your hunger. Whereas AJ's already done it, guys. AJ's already become a 2-time heavyweight champion. I'm not saying AJ's not hungry. That's definitely not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, generally, the younger fighter who's never done it before has usually something more to prove. AJ's been in that position himself when he fought Klitschko. It's just a different tenacity. The question is, will AJ hold up? Does AJ still have it? So, in my opinion, Daniel Dubois is very hungry, guys. He's ready for AJ. Even in the recent Gloves Are Off face-to-face, I've done a review on it. You can check on my channel. Daniel Dubois is showing a lot of confidence. Like, he's speaking up to AJ, and AJ's finding it very annoying. But yeah, so in my opinion, Daniel Dubois, guys, he's got a lot of hunger, guys. So that's going to be my number 4th reason, guys, the hunger of Daniel Dubois. So number 5, guys. Number 5 reason I think Daniel Dubois will beat Anthony Joshua is Joshua's vulnerability to pressure fighters. So Joshua has a lot of vulnerability to fighters that put pressure on him. We've seen that with Andy Ruiz. We've seen that with, guys, you could go back and watch his last 3 performances. Robert Helenius was putting it on AJ for the first couple of rounds. He was sticking a jab out there. AJ found the first couple of rounds very difficult against Helenius. But then he did knock him out at the end, so you got to give him credit. But when someone pressures AJ and sustain pressure, Usyk did the same, guys. That fear of the psychological damage of Andy Ruiz and losing to Usyk, we don't know, guys, is that still in AJ, because all we've seen from AJ is this side where he's knocking people out and finishing them. We haven't really seen anyone stick it on him sustainably since Usyk, since Ruiz. He's had a few, like, as I said, Helenius, or these little few bash-ups, but no one's actually sustained that pressure. So Dubois, remember, guys, hits as hard as AJ. Dubois, in my opinion, isn't going to be a Francis Ngannou because he can box. He does have experience. Now, don't get me wrong, AJ can whack as well. And I think if Dubois does get hit, he has to be very careful about getting hit. But I'm sure they've planned for this. But Dubois' aggressive style, the style I saw him do to Jerome Miller, the style I saw him do to Hrgovic, if Dubois starts doing that to AJ and forces him into uncomfortable situations, especially after the first couple of rounds, that vulnerability might show again. We may see AJ get put under pressure because there's been rumors as well, guys. I'm not going to go into it. Daniel Dubois and AJ sparred a long time ago, and Dubois was like 17, 18 at that time. But from what I know, Daniel Dubois dropped Anthony Joshua at that time. So, guys, as I said, it's gonna be a good fight. But these are the top 5 reasons, guys. I believe that Daniel Dubois will beat Anthony Joshua. So that's just gonna be a video, guys, and let me know your thoughts below. Do you agree with this? Do you not? I will be doing a video on the top 5 reasons for AJ next, so don't worry about that. But these are the top 5 reasons I believe that Dubois will beat Anthony Joshua.